Hello, this is Terry and welcome to the next build video in my mini teardrop camper build series. And in this video I'm going to be beginning to make my galley hatch here. And I've got the materials that I think I'm going to have. I've ordered the galley hatch trim work and also the camper trim work itself, and also a latch and my insulation material. And I've also got my wood that I need. I'm going to use some 1 by 12 by 6 foot planks to try to get the vertical ribs, and I've got some 1 by 2s for the horizontal support beams. So I'm hoping that those will work. And this is, of course, is going to be my hatch area. I've got a lot of stuff in here right now, mainly just to counterbalance so I can easily move this around, but I'll be taking all that out when I begin my build. So this is a task that I've really not been looking forward to because it's something that I've never done before. Everything up to this point I've been familiar with. I've done some carpentry and built things very similar, but a curved hatch like this is going to be something brand new. So I do suspect I will be having issues, maybe restarting on some things and stuff like that. So we'll never know until we begin. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm going to begin by making a template out of a scrap piece of 1/4 inch plywood here. And I'm going to just trace my radius out and allow myself anywhere from 2 to 3 inches on that. Just should be plenty of room for my template. And then by using that, I can do some adjustments by putting on my trim work and things like that, just to see how wide it really needs to be. So let's go ahead and measure this out and get this cut. Okay, I worked all morning to complete my first curved rail for my galley hatch. And as soon as I had finished sanding it and placing it in just to check the measurements, this happened. It broke. What I've decided to do with this broken curved rail is to glue it back together and use it as a master template. instead of using the little thin piece right here, I'm going to get this to size here and use it. Okay, I just wanted to verify that this is the actual curve. So my curve is really good. So it's really good going all the way down. I'm just going to have a space down here, 1/2 inch space, and a 1/4 inch space up here. So when I put it on the inside, I'll have to adjust for that. So let me put it on the inside to see an idea of how much I've got to cut off. Okay, I got my curve rail on the inside here, and I've got it butted up against the top and the bottom. I've got to cut some of this off, a 1/4 inch on the top for my hurricane hinge, and also a 1/2 inch on the bottom. And on the sides here, I want this to stick up about 3/16 of an inch. That way, the sealant here will actually be really tight and solid to keep the water out. So it's going to be at 3/16 of an inch high. And right now, I got this set to 3/16. You can see that it's actually a little bit larger, which is fine for that. So what I can do now is I'm just going to describe a 3/16 inch of a line across right here. So when I start cutting off some of that on the top and cut off a piece on the bottom, I want this 3/16 inch line to match that perfectly. So let's go ahead and do that next. Okay, I just want to take a couple of minutes to kind of explain all these measurements I've been doing for this curved rib that I'm going to put in the galley hatch. And if you notice from the back of the camper where the galley starts at on top, I've got a 1/4 inch piece of wood here. That's going to represent the 1/4 inch space. It's going to be right there between where this is going to fit up against the camper and also the galley here. So if I were to put this right here and slide it over, that's going to represent that 1/4 inch right there. So that's why that's there. And I've got that one, and I've got another one here and another one at the end right there, so I can put that up against there. Okay, now let's talk about the 3/8 inch space that I'm going to put between my curved rail and the outside of the camper. And if you've noticed, I've got some the spacers here is going to be 3/8. Another one here is 3/8, and one on the bottom here that's 3/8. And that's going to be used because whenever I put on my weather stripping and my trim, it's going to be on like this right here. And when my galley hatch trim is installed, it's going to go on top like this right here. And if you'll notice, on the very outside, then that's going to be just about flush for that, and that's going to fit up in there. So that's the reason you know, there's going to be 3/8 gap right there. So the 3/16 inch line, why is that raised up? Because when I put my flashing on and my weather stripping is going to be in there, it's going to have a good seal. And right here on the top and on the side, I'm going to have some about a 1/8 of an inch thick piece of sealant tape here. So it's going to raise it up a little bit, so it's going to be nice and snug whenever I put this on. Plus, over the top here is going to be my 1/8 inch bending plywood and also my poor man's fiberglass. So when it pushes down, it's going to push down pretty good on there. So on the bottom, the very bottom, right here, I've got a 1/2 inch from the bottom to the top of the rail here. Well, the top of the bottom rail, I should say. And that's going to be because I'm going to be using the same type of weather stripping on the bottom, and it's going to go on like this here. So that will give me some space also to seal going in this direction. So it'll seal right there. It'll come up and it'll come back down and seal on top of that right there, give me some space there. So I hope that makes sense. It'll make sense as I continue the build. So the next thing I got to do is go ahead and start making these curved rails. So let's go ahead and start with that. Okay, I've got my curved galley hatch beams cut, and I've also cut and installed the spacers on the sides, spacers on the top, and also the spacers on the bottom. And these spacers are going to be used to space the galley hatch trim and the weather stripping that's going to be installed on there. So what I'm going to do next is, for a sanity check, just to make sure everything fits, I'm going to go ahead and place these curved beams into place just to see what it looks like. Okay, I've got the curved beams dry fitted, and of course on the sides I'm going to be doubling on those for strength, and in the center I'm going to have 2 of the curved beams, and then also across I'm going to have 1x2s doubled. At least I think it's 4 or 5 spaces here, so I'll be cutting notches into that. And to just kind of give you an idea what it's going to look like, let me put this down, and I'll show you what it looked like. course, that 1x2 will be, you know, notched into those existing curved 1x2. So that's going to be next. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and stop this video here. And in my next build video, I'll go ahead and start notching these curved beams and start making a frame. And I hope to have the frame completed in the next video and have it ready to skin. So thanks for watching. Please comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.